up, my viewers and YouTubers? Welcome back to another video by Kid Inky. How y'all feeling today? In this video, I'm going to be talking about the time I was homeless. Yeah, there was a time in my life where going home wasn't really an option for me. I mean, it was, but knowing my mom, she can be crazy. As far as my experience goes with being homeless, it was a chance for me to make the most out of effort when it came to figuring out how to live life properly. And I fucking hated it. Being homeless means you have to figure out how you're going to eat every few hours, where you're going to sleep, how you're going to get to places, staying as clean as possible so you don't smell like junk around people. And if you're a part of the minor team like me, you have to constantly look out for the police so they don't catch you out past curfew. When I was homeless, I had to walk most of the time. It was so time consuming and tiring. You guys should stay home if you have the chance. Trust me. Being homeless is pretty brutal. I was also homeless twice, so in this video I'm going to be talking about both of the times I was homeless. So without further ado, let's play I Was Homeless. Once upon a time, there was a boy stuck in his mom's crib on a beautiful, warm, sunny afternoon before Independence Day. My mother barely lets me outside like the usual. She thinks there's always going to be certain groups of white folks out in the streets trying to kill black people or something like that. So what I usually do is watch YouTube videos and make YouTube content since it was summer, and that was literally the most entertaining thing for me to do at the time. Eventually it got around to 6 in the afternoon. Mom told me that she was about to lead to some church program and that I shouldn't go anywhere while she gone. A few minutes go by, she got ready to leave, then she left. 10 minutes later I got dressed, put on my shoes, told my little brother I was heading out for a bit, then I left. I walked all the way to a park that was an hour walk away from my house to meet up with some friends. I know it sounds far, but I had gotten used to it over the summer. When I got there, I met up with 3 other friends. One of them told me that there was going to be a fireworks show at my school later on that night, and that I should come with them to see the fireworks, despite it not being Independence Day. Before we started walking there, one of my friends, we'll call her Talia, she had weed on her at the time, and she was willing to smoke me up and the other 2 people that was already here. We ain't smoke a lot because we actually wanted to save some for when the fireworks start, and they didn't start until another couple hours later. Eventually, everybody started walking to the school. We found an open spot that's decent for watching fireworks go off. We waited for the fireworks to begin. As we were waiting, everybody except Talia and I decided to walk around. Talia ended up smoking me up some more since no one else was around. Eventually, they all came back. We watched some fireworks. More people that we knew showed up as the fireworks went off, and everybody got high. The fireworks ended at around 11. At that point, I got a little worried. I had no idea when my mom was coming home from that church program, so you'd think me going home at that time would be my best option. That way my mom wouldn't know that I was even out of the house. But I thought since an African like her going to a church program, she wouldn't get home till like sometime in the early morning, like the usual. So I chose to stay out. A few minutes after the fireworks ended, everybody in the group gathered up, and we're trying to figure out how everybody was going to get back to the park we originally met up at, because most of us were still down to hang out. There was more than 10 people. There was only 2 cars, so not everybody could fit in them. Me and Talia decided to walk to the park by ourselves. Later, a lot of people in our group started catching up to us. Eventually, everybody arrives at the park at midnight. The plan was to go to a tent, because most of us were already tired, and we couldn't go out in public, because midnight is when curfew hours start. One of the guys with the car already went home, and the other guy with the car could only bring half of the group at the time. Me and Talia and a couple of other people were the last ones to be brought to the tent, and after he did that, he had to go home. At the tent, it was me, Talia, and 4 other people. I was uncomfortable. It was very humid, a lot of mosquitoes were out, most of the people were laying down, which took up most of the area. One of my friends, we'll call him Ripper, decided that sleep is for the weak, and attempted to collect all the marijuana off his pinchy so he can smoke it. Since I was the only other person that was awake, he let me smoke some. Then we started talking about life. It's one of the things that you just do when you're high. As time goes by, things get more boring. It's 1:30 in the morning, and the people who were up at the time was me, Ripper, and another friend of mine. He woke up to Ripper and I talking. We'll call him Kendrick. The 3 of us then leave the tent to walk to a nearby gas station. None of us had any money, so we were just sitting outside of the gas station for a fat hour. Eventually, a black car pulls up. Sounds suspicious, huh? A grown man comes out of the car and starts talking to us. He asked us if there was anybody who he could buy weed from. What are the odds, man? We all said no, because it was like 3 in the morning and all of our dealers were sleeping. After the guy leaves, a lady approaches the gas station crying. Ripper asked her what was the problem. She was upset that her boyfriend locked her out of the crib. She wanted us to kick the door down or do anything possible to get her back into her crib so she can get on with her night. The kicking the door down idea was hers. The guy who had locked her out wasn't home, so we didn't have to worry about the guy trying to fight us or anything. We then walked to her apartment. Kendrick kicked the door like 10 times, but the door didn't budge. Ripper then asked the woman if there was any windows that he can climb up to. She said yes. I immediately knew that idea was sketchy because the lady lived on the 3rd floor, which meant that if someone were to climb up to that window, they have to climb on objects without falling. So Ripper went outside to figure out how he was going to get up there. For some reason, Kendrick wanted to do it with him. As they were trying not to die, I had to keep the lady company and try to cheer her up. She was still bawling her eyes out, by the way. Eventually, Ripper and Kendrick opened the door from the inside, and I could tell the lady was so happy. We all sat in her home for a minute. The lady told us that if it wasn't for us, she wouldn't have had a better night, and she would have had to deal with her hood rat boyfriend. She then offers us money, cigarettes, and a chance to come over later on in the day to smoke weed with her. Ripper and Kendrick denied all of the offers, not me. I mean, I denied doing drugs with her, but I at least wanted some money, since she was offering.